What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me this week is Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Sam Claiborne,
Scoop,
Zach Ryan,
Scoop.
And we've got a great show for you with this week. We're going to talk about Far Cry 5. We're going to talk about the Mega Man X Legacy Collections. But first, Big Tony writes in this week.
Right off
Starting the episode.
The triumphant
with Big Tony
return.
style?
Yeah, I mean, Big Tony style, when he writes in, he gets top billing.
So
Game Scoop.
for new listeners, Big Tony style just writes in a lot. Like you can at, I don't know what the address is.
It's hard to remember, gamescoop at IGN.com.
But it's
Sam,
also
Sam, you're on the show every week and you don't remember GameScoop
it's
at
also-
IGN.com.
It's also what? No,
Omega Cops at
we
IGN.com.
do have Omega Cops at IGN.
Did you guys really get that one?
Yeah.
That's great.
And
Goose Camp.
Goose
We
Camp
have all
at
three of them?
IGN.com.
Or is it Camp Goose?
I don't think anybody ever actually.
We're
used
in
those.
Camp Goose right now.
Anyway, Big Tony Style says, with Metal Gear Survive, remember that one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. With Metal Gear Survive not doing well and already seeing heavy discounts, I'm wondering if Konami will continue making games. What developers would you like to see take over some of their top IP if Konami were ever going to sell them? The state of affairs for Konami is truly sad because once upon a time they're a top tier video game developer, but it's been a long time.
That's the one silver lining, right? Is at some point, even if it's a decade from now, presumably there'll be somebody else making games in those franchises, like Darksiders or whatever.
So the question is, who will get Frogger?
Well, yeah, that's one of them for sure. Let's start with Metal Gear.
Okay.
If someone else were going to make a Metal Gear game.
Who should it be or who will it be?
I feel like Platinum
Both.
did a bang up job like creating a game in the Metal Gear universe, but that's not necessarily a Metal Gear game. You know,
Not a stealth
Rising
espionage.
Revengeance. Exactly. Yeah.
Metal Gear is such a singular
Thing.
It's
Yeah.
tough. There's not like much like it.
I mean,
I think they
could,
should give it to the Fortnite development team and just make an awesome battle royale. That's just
Honestly, I said
Metal Gear
I said it from the outset with Metal Gear Survive that if they dropped in a 100, like 100 versus 100 battle royale mode,
Yeah.
with the Metal Gear Solid 5 control scheme on console, I would play that.
It'd be a hit.
Yeah, I'd be into that. I think
We just saved Konami.
Metal Gear Royale.
I think Rocksteady would be a good choice for a Metal Gear game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a good choice for any game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wait a second here. Kojima Productions should buy Metal Gear.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
smart.
That's actually a really good one.
He's made some.
Kojima spent 20 years trying to get away from Metal Gear. Like
I don't know if he was trying to get away from
every
Metal Gear.
time he made a Metal Gear game, he was like, "And this is my last Metal Gear game." Like,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
But they just got
I
better
feel
and
like it
better.
means something. That's true.
I was thinking about Splinter Cell as
Yeah.
being another stealth game. I wonder if Ubisoft could make a good Metal Gear game.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They seem to make some decent games these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
I mean, I love Splinter Cell games actually, and Ubisoft games, but they're not like Metal Gear games are very auteur driven. Like it's a singular artistic vision of like one man and his crazy cohort.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I can't imagine that fitting into the Ubisoft mold of making games.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's fair.
What about Castlevania?
Ooh, I got a good one for this.
What?
Nintendo.
Yacht Club.
Yacht Club.
That's
yeah.
good.
I'd like to see Yacht Club, the guys behind Shovel Knight. I'd love to see them make a 2D Castlevania game in the vein of Symphony of the Night or Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. What about just Nintendo?
That's
Just
definitely-
give
It would also be
Castlevania-
great. Yeah,
just give
that's al-
Castlevania to Nintendo.
Also a good choice.
Let
Then
them make
they could actually make Metroidvania.
exactly.
It's such a stupid idea. It's so good.
What about Silent Hill?
I mean, Capcom can just take that.
That's what I thought.
yeah,
Capcom's
Capcom
doing
can do
the survival horror thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's also Bethesda with Evil Within, but
Yeah.
I think
That's a good point.
Mikami, is was it Tango? What are they called? The Tango GameWorks? Did I make that up?
No, you're close though. I think it's either
Whatever.
Tango GameWorks or something like.
You all
akin
know
to
what
that,
I'm talking about.
it's not Grasshopper. You think?
No, Grasshopper
I'm thinking
Suda.
of something else.
Yeah, Grasshopper Suda 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capcom seemed to make sense for Silent Hill for me. Now, Contra as a series has been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone were to make another Contra game,
We should do that.
you and I,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I think we
I
can
don't
nail
trust it in anybody else's hands at
That.
this point.
What about Arc System Works, the developer that made Hardcore Uprising,
That game is so good.
right?
Yeah.
So they could probably do it.
Was it
Third
was
favorite
it
Contra game.
High Flying Studios, the guys behind Bulletstorm?
High Flying Studios.
I feel like that was their
Rin, who
name.
made Bionic Commando Rearmed.
That's true.
That would be a good one too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Chair.
I like what you're saying there.
I feel like Chair would be a good developer for that as well. Yeah.
Who made
Well.
what's it called?
Shadow Complex.
Shadow Complex. Yeah.
But yeah, what is Chair doing? They did
Well, I
a
mean,
million Infinity Blades and
Epic has Fortnite now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if Chair's, pitching in on the mobile port of that or what specifically that studio is doing, but they're all in one sort of Epic dev house now. So
Yeah.
yeah. This is a little bit more niche, but Suikoden.
you know what? You take that back.
I'm not. It's not. It's just an observation. You don't think Suikoden is one of Konami's more niche franchises?
Yeah, okay. In the face of Silent Hill and in Metal Gear. No, I mean Square Enix, right?
Yeah, Square Enix should probably take over.
But
Suikoden.
they have to do it. Like, please don't Final Fantasize.
Final Fantasize.
Final Fantasize.
We got
Thank
there.
you.
I like
Yeah.
That series. It's got to stay. They got to bring it back to its retro roots. Dude,
what about
Suikoden
the,
is so good.
what about
One
the
and
Brave
two is-
Exodus guys? The Bravely Default guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that? Is that level 5? I don't know who makes that.
No, it's a team within Square. I forget the name of them though.
If Suikoden is so good, why doesn't Konami just make one of those games and make a lot of money?
They've made like 6 of them, like 2.5 of which are good.
They just put out a set of Suikoden pachinko machines. So yeah.
Perfect.
They make like gachapon, pachinko.
Yeah,
is that what
that's their big.
And that's actually the
their big
reason.
thing now,
That's
yeah.
what puts a stop to everything we're discussing right now, is because they're going to make Metal Gear and Silent Hill pachinko machines until the end of time.
Yeah.
Sam, who do you think should take over the Goonies?
Stern Pinball.
Stern Pinball?
Yes, the best Goonies or the best theme for a pinball machine ever. I think. Would be.
Yeah. Has
That
there not
would
been
be
a
a really
Goonies
good one.
pinball machine?
There was a fan made one, just like a retheme of
There are
one.
fan-made pinball machines?
They're amazing. They're like rethemed. Sometimes they're like programmed and
Yeah.
What game did they
it was a really good
retheme?
one. I don't know. I think it was like a Bally Playboy or
Some
something.
pirate game. Yeah. Some pirate.
I don't think.
ball.
Maybe. I don't think it had like that complex of ramps or anything.
It could have a second playfield that's like down underneath.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And they could have a beautiful waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could include the octopus.
It could include the octopus.
Yeah.
That's
They
what I
could
was
include the
gonna
octopus,
say.
and like all the ramps could be the water slides from the end of the game.
All the different game
really
modes.
into this,
all the different,
actually.
all the different game modes write themselves.
What if and somewhere on the playfield it opens up and the ship comes out at some
Yeah.
point?
Oh yeah, super into that.
Yeah, I can't believe there hasn't been a
And then there's Domino's Pizza
Pinball
for
table
everybody at the end.
Perfect. Do they get Domino's pizza? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the pizza?
And it's this great classic Domino's box that I really kind of like, I'm suddenly nostalgic for, which is like the Domino, which is
On the
very
top of the
iconic.
bottom. Yeah. Blue and red. Yeah.
Finally, what about the Gradius series? I was thinking Treasure.
But is Treasure still making games?
Ikaruga. They're
Few and
not
far between.
They're not out of business, but the last one that they did, I think, might have been. They did Sin and Punishment. They did a Sin and Punishment on the Wii.
Right.
Isn't Ikaruga coming to
The Wii? That's
Switch?
2 consoles ago.
I know.
So what are they doing?
But like they haven't like gone out of business.
They've
so I
been
don't
working
know.
really hard on
Think
this
about this, though.
Ikaruga port.
What about Astro Boy?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Presumably there's
good.
human beings
Maybe. That's the
working
Game
at
Boy
Treasure. They have it on their
Advance.
business cards. What are they going to work and do each day?
Yeah, Ikaruga is supposed to be coming to Switch and PS4.
Yeah.
sometime.
Is Ikaruga on Switch going to have a vertical mode?
Yes, I think that was what they showed off. Yeah.
You just showed me a Switch vertical mode game.
Yeah, Dragon
Totally
Blaze.
works.
There's a Japanese arcade game that was released in the year 2000 called Dragon Blaze that just came to Switch, and yeah, it has a cool vertical mode. It's really fun.
I felt really bad because like I'm not super into shmups, and Damon came over to my desk the other day and was like, "Check it out, look at Dragon Blaze," and he was like showing it to me, and I was like, "You good?" And he
Yeah.
kind of was
Yes.
just like, all right, whatever. See you later.
Very particular kind of video game fan that gets into those games. That's all the like the major Konami franchises.
Yeah.
I
And
can
we
think
saved
of.
up a little bit to get Contra, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
What are you guys calling your production company?
Contra Studios.
Wow, that's pretty on the nose. All right.
You making a new Contra game? Nope.
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 No Contra at all.
It's not like
Clever name.
Kojima did any better.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Remind me, Sam. I think at PAX East, an indie dev was showing off a game that was specifically aping the Contra 3 style.
A Contra like for only Alien Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Contra, like, you have to imagine that
Name escapes me at the moment.
there's some parallel universe where like Contra is the more beloved game than like Super Metroid and Castlevania, and there are just like indie Contra likes coming out constantly. Some alternate future.
Where Sam is president.
We're kind of in that for Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like whatever, like some weird like, they're still making Pac-Man Maze games in 2018.
Yeah. Well, they made a Pac-Man Maze game last year in
Yeah.
2017.
They did.
All right, moving on. This is Sam in Bristol, UK. And he says, Far Cry 5 is the hot topic at the moment. You seem to be enjoying it a lot. I played Far Cry 1 and 2 back in the day, and a very small amount of 3. I'd been thinking of getting back into the series, but when I learnt about the theme and setting of Far Cry 5, I was put off. My thought was that being set in Montana, dealing with religious cults and also present day, means overall this probably really appeals to Americans much more than those of us from the rest of the world. How much do you think the setting of a game, where it is actually based on real-world places that are recognizable, make a difference to the geographical player base? Similar examples. I really enjoyed Hellgate London when it came out years ago because it featured the underground stations, which as a former Londoner was a fun way of immersing myself in the game. If a game has this sort of appeal to the people who will recognize the setting, does it also detract from those who don't because they don't feel part of the game as much?
It's interesting.
Yeah. The reverse can also be true though. Like part of the appeal for me of like Yakuza or like Persona was like I don't live in Japan. I don't know Japan particularly well, but it's sort of fun to run around those cities that I don't have a lot of familiarity with.
Especially when those franchises, Yakuza and Persona, they do such a great job of replicating those actual places. Like there are streets in Yakuza. I think it was I want to say it was Kotaku ran a comparison where you could tab over on their images.
Was that
it was like, here's Shinjuku in Yakuza, and you can move a slider on their image. That was like, it was amazing how like almost
Persona
1-to-1 those
was
were.
like that too. Right?
Persona's similar, yeah. Like there's definitely
the real
like,
train stations.
Yeah, the map itself is very much like this is what how Japan is laid out, and then the neighborhoods that you go to are truncated versions of that. But yeah,
I mean, for us living in such a famous city, San Francisco is one of the more well-known cities in the world. I would say there's not a lot of video games actually set here, and so Watch Dogs 2 was interesting for that reason, to actually get a sense for I'm in my neighborhood and in recognizable, like even little details like the trash cans. I'm like, that looks like the Embarcadero. Like that looks exactly like my hood.
Yeah.
And that was a really trippy, surreal experience.
I had people over just to like show them that game that don't know games at all. They're just like, look at the city in this.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Marty
You
and
can
I
drive from this to this really fast.
Marty and I played a fair amount of co-op in Watch Dogs 2, and it was really fun teaming up with him because he would say things like, meet me at Union Square for this mission, and I wouldn't even have to look at the map. Like I could just, like it wasn't a 1-to-1 city, but like it was close. So in that regard, I do think there is something, to say to that.
There could be like a special thrill if you know the area and it's mapped out really well.
Here's the rub. It can be too similar though. And I think
What's
Far
an
Cry
example?
was too Kansas for me.
Far Cry
Kansas.
to Kansas.
Yeah. We talked
Kansas
about this.
isn't nearly as hilly.
It's like
or
wooded.
as-
It's the western Kansas.
no,
Foothills
Kansas
of
is pretty-
the Rockies. The great Rocky Mountains, Damon.
There was a not in Kansas.
Yeah, I think to bring it back around to Sam's original question, Far Cry 5 is so heightened and ridiculous and not necessarily like true to life that I don't really feel like, if you live somewhere else or that wasn't your experience growing up, I don't think like it's a very, very silly cartoony game. So I don't think it particularly matters if that wasn't, your life experience growing up.
Yeah.
I think just modern real world settings are boring anyway.
Yeah,
I don't care where they are. Like GTA, like I just wish it was somewhere else or in the past or in the future.
Yeah. I would say, given the option, I would rather explore a fantasy world
Yeah.
than my backyard.
I think if it's done right, I agree to some extent, but I think like a world like GTA 5, that representation of Los Angeles is like so like it is an amalgamation of what that greater area is, and in that way, I think it's really smart. Like
But San
it's
Andreas
not-
did it.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's interesting to like know an area like that and play a game like GTA 5 and be like, oh, this is reminiscent of XYZ.
Venice Beach is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so close.
Yeah.
I really like that. No, I do get that thrill, but in terms
It's
of like
games being
live in
set
real
in real world settings, contemporary settings, help fulfill sort of the power fantasy of like, I cannot hunt and kill a bear with a flamethrower in real life. I mean, maybe I could, but
Well,
Kansas,
You personally can't. Someone else
Western
probably
Kansas.
well, I mean, the point of like the more realistic the setting is, the more you get a sense of you're just doing something insane in the game. Whereas in a fantasy land, it's not as
That dragon's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't feel quite as interesting or strange. Like that's part of why this is sort of a deep cut. But like Crackdown 1 to 2, in Crackdown 1, you felt like such a superhero and badass because it was in a more realistic setting, and then 2 was a zombie game, and it didn't feel nearly as special because the setting was sillier.
what kind of game is Crackdown 3?
No one knows.
That's a vaporware game.
Yeah, it's a game that does not exist.
It's a different type of.
I hope it surprises us at E3.
Yeah.
I won't.
Again?
Our third surprise in a row.
Remember me? This is Ben from Wyoming. He says, "Hey, Omega Cops, thank you for your great work on this show. It gets me through endless days of high school. It was just my birthday this weekend. I turned 17. I can finally buy M-rated games without bringing my parents to the store. And
If you bring your ID.
And I got Far Cry 5, Skyrim for Switch, Kirby Star Allies,
Whoa.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Those are not all.
Are you sure Kirby? That might be an adults only game.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah.
of the rare AO.
They're doing all that kissing in that game, you know. So yeah.
So he says, I'm overloaded with games. What order do the Omega Cops think I should play them in?
So wait, it was Far Cry, Skyrim.
Far Cry, Skyrim, Kirby, and Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego.
Interesting.
Well, if you play Skyrim, you're not going to play the other one.
That's why I would say save Skyrim for last, because I think you won't ever get to the other three.
Yeah.
You play Lego Marvel with a buddy.
So here's
Aren't both Lego Marvel and Kirby sort of
those are
designed
both
for co-op?
Exactly.
so I'm gonna say you do Far Cry first, because that's what the conversation is
Yeah,
right
it's the
now.
game of the
You can
moment.
ride that wave, and that bookends the two like open worldy games. Like
Exactly.
you don't want those two back to back.
Exactly.
And it's like the most mature game you could possibly play
It's
for 17 years old.
It's real. Lots of grown-up stuff happening in
a
that
lot
game.
of swears, drugs. And so then I think you do the two kids games in Skyrim.
Yeah, I think that's actually.
Oh, you can always just have people over to play those games or play those with friends while you're playing your single player games separately. I always
think
have a
start.
multiplayer
I think
single
start with Kirby because it's short. Do Far Cry because it's topical. Play Skyrim because it'll take forever, and then skip Lego Marvel 2.
player. I wouldn't play Kirby by yourself.
It's fun. I'm doing it. It's great.
Oh, Zach.
I'm having a good old time.
I think Lego
Kissing,
Marvel 2 in
throwing
general,
hearts. It's
Zach.
wonderful.
Stop it.
I think in general, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 got better reviews than Kirby did.
Yeah, I've just never been a fan of the Lego games. I'm sure that's a great game, but
Dude, I can't keep up with. I used to play like a Lego game would come out, and I would play all of them. Like they were great, Lego Pirates and Lego Star Wars. And then at some point, I lost track of like they're coming out faster than I can possibly keep up.
Force Awakens was really cool.
I played Lego Force Awakens, and that was really fun. That was like the only one that I've ever actually sat down and played through the whole thing.
Others all play like at someone's house if like they're playing or kids love playing them, and so it's easy to get kids involved in games through those. But
I feel like Lego
not for me.
Harry Potter was the peak.
And that
My
was
opinion.
What about the Hobbit? Was it the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings?
They did both.
There's like a Hobbit one, right?
They did Lego Hobbit as well.
Yeah,
Those are
maybe.
really
No one knows.
I mean, if there's a popular entertainment property, yeah, they've probably done a.
I think I own the Lego Hobbit. Lego the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Lego Requiem for a Dream. That was a good one.
Yeah. All right, in the news this week, we got a release date for the Mega Man X Legacy Collections. Both of them will be out July 24th. Part 1, so there's 8 Mega Man X games. The first collection is 1 through 4, and the second one is 5 through 8. And I'm excited to play these because I think I only ever played Mega Man X1, first one.
Yeah.
And I think several of them
Reploids.
are well regarded as being.
If you look at 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, like they all look like they're on Super Nintendo, but 4 made the jump to PlayStation.
4 was on PlayStation, starting with 4.
And then I found out today that 3 is on PlayStation also.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know which version is going to be in this collection, but the 3
So
on
3
Super
came out on
Nintendo
both?
has an FX chip in it to make the 3D like the 3D spinning things.
We should
Three
do a
came
graphics
to
comparison.
both
Eight.
Super
Yeah.
Nintendo and PS1.
Yeah,
That's
That's just
wild.
very
That's
unusual.
so crazy.
How many
But
games
it
did
was
that?
so late.
Probably not
Just
very
that
many.
one. Just that game.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Chrono Trigger and Final
Yeah.
Fantasy did eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are ports,
Yeah,
right?
those don't
Like,
count.
Total
Yeah.
ports.
Well, I mean, I guess this is a port as well.
But
but
the
like a
time wasn't. The
simultaneous
time didn't
release.
elapse too much between.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and look at like the PS1's first year, like however long, and like see how many of those came out simultaneously on the 16-bit era.
Yeah.
But Mega Man did stay pretty cool and Mega Man X looking until I think it was 7.
7's the weird one, right?
And
The
then it
anime
looks
one?
like and 8 is a PS2 game.
Yeah.
But 7 looks already like really smooth and not like pixelated, and then 8 looks like crazy. Like Mega Man's all tall and skinny.
What about Maverick Hunter X? Is that going to make the cut on this collection?
I don't think so.
No.
Just-
There has been an X collection before, and it had that racing game in it.
Yeah.
It's
Whoa,
called
whoa, whoa.
Battle and Chase.
Specifically X collection or just the Mega Man?
No, there was an
Mega
X
Man
collection.
X collection
Yeah.
for
Really?
GameCube and PS2.
There was a Mega Man collection that
Anniversary.
had the anniversary collection, and then there was an
remember
X
that.
collection as well. Yeah.
Interesting. I guess I totally forgot about that. I had that. So that racing game was, I think, only released in Japan, and I had like imported it.
Nice.
Back in the day.
Is it
Just
called
after I modded
Battle
my PS1?
and Chase?
I think Rockman Battle and Chase.
Battle and Chase. Yeah.
That sounds right.
What about Battle or Chase? The far less popular.
One or the other.
Why
yeah.
not both?
I would totally play through all these games again.
Yeah.
I think 1 is a little rough. 2 is like really improves on 1. I mean, 1's really great. It's a great game, but like nobody played 3 because it was so hard to get.
3 is
at
the best
time,
one.
and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's good to have it in the collection.
Why was it hard to get?
It's like one of the rarest Super Nintendo games. It's so expensive. I mean, obviously, you could. Now I just found out you can play it on PS.
I wonder if it's just like
also-
late in the Super Nintendo's life.
Yes, 2 and 3. They're like some of the most sought after cartridges.
Yeah, that's interesting. So did Mega Man X never come to the Genesis?
No, there's
No.
no Mega
Seriously?
Man on the Genesis.
Wonder why.
Yeah, because
It's just odd, right?
it's
Well, Capcom did Disney games on the Genesis, so
Yeah.
now they did games for the Genesis.
Yeah, they did business
yeah,
with
I mean,
Sega.
Castlevania. They brought Contra there. So
Capcom, I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm
Still
stoked.
thinking about Konami.
Yeah.
I'm stoked because I recently played through X on Super Nintendo Classic, and that's one of my favorite games. Like I love Mega Man. I love the first 3 X games. So it's awesome that these collections are coming out on Switch because now I get to play through all of them. So
Yeah.
it's rad.
I have no sense of what 4, 5, and 6 are about. Like 1 through 3, it's just like you
They're
were
all
saying.
about
I
the
know,
same thing.
I know what they are, and like 7 and 8, I remember those. But like that middle X period, I'm like, I don't know what those games look like or
Yeah.
who.
I've been looking at videos. They have great like Mega Man 7 looks. So there's like big background polygon stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's like really good sprite for a lot of it too. They look really appealing. I've never played them, but I've watched the videos. And
Play as a robot, hunt other robots.
Reploids.
absorb their
You're right.
powers.
That's right. Yeah,
Mavericks.
Mavericks. Yeah,
They call
You're the Mavericks.
them. No.
you hunt Mavericks.
hunt Mavericks.
You're Maverick Hunter X.
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought the bad guys were your Maverick Hunter X. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the Reploids are the names of the
Supposedly,
bosses, and
yeah,
they're all
supposedly
animals,
the
which
X,
is great.
Supposedly the Mega Man X games have like pretty deep lore and like a pretty cool story.
Mega Man X
But-
was created by Dr. Light in Frozen.
That's right.
That's so sad. He's like, you're too good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, Dr. Light.
Thank you. What game is that from?
I don't know.
I think it's from 7.
Yeah, for Mega Man 7, isn't that also the one that has a cutscene where he goes, "Shut up"?
I think that's 8.
Is that 8?
Well,
Yeah.
from
With
when
the
it was
anime
a- yeah,
cutscenes.
that's
Shut
right.
up.
So both collections are $20 each for download. There is a retail bundle that's $40. So you're not getting a discount, but it's 2 discs for PS4 and Xbox One, or on the
Wait.
Switch. Hold on.
2 discs?
Yeah.
It's a lot of Mega
2-disc
Man.
bundle.
It's a lot of Mega Man.
You
crammed in
can't
there.
fit 8 PlayStation era Mega Man games on a single.
They do go up through PS2.
I think maybe
So
it's
you
because
have
it's
a PS2
technically
game
they're
on
separate
there.
games.
Oh, the collections, maybe they printed
Yeah.
them separately. or
Yeah.
something?
That could be it. Yeah, because it's collection 1 and 2. Yeah.
But the Switch retail bundle is just 1 cartridge and then a download code.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What's
classic
the
Switch
download
jam.
code?
For Legacy Collection 2.
Weird.
So what they wanted to do is make sure they got to use their menu screens for both and not combine them, right? It's like
why would
they
they-
kept the packages separate.
Yeah, I don't think it's out. They're separate games, right? That they're bundling up into one thing you can.
Yeah,
But I
we-
think the question is, could they have been on one
Oh,
disc?
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it just
Could it
takes
fit
less
on one
effort.
disc, on one Blu-ray?
But then you're doubling production, right? Because you're creating discs that have all 8 games and creating discs that have 1 through 4 and 5 through 8.
Oh,
right?
they're not selling retail separately. That's why it's stupid.
That's why.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
You're right. So it's menus. they didn't want to create.
Got to get those hot menus.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a the more you know segment about what going gold means? Remember that term? We're not
Yeah.
going to hear that anymore.
That's not true. We just heard about God of War
we
going
get
gold
press
about a month
releases
ago.
with them sometimes, but it used to be. I remember when I first started 10 years
thing.
ago, you just get every email would be like, "This game has gone gold," and then you'd write it up as news.
Meant the code was locked. The game is finished. They can't
And
work
they
on it
can
anymore.
print the discs,
they
right?
print
Is
the
that what it
discs.
basically
But that's
means?
also a relative term in this day and age because a game can go to print, but then still get a 8 gigabyte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
patch
that
one.
not only that,
Yeah.
and then they also get sold like
So what is that?
Fortnite for they're not
So what is that? Is that going platinum? Is when the code is when the
yeah, it's so weird.
day 1 patch is ready?
I think it's just an outdated term.
Yeah.
They just patched Red Dead Redemption. Like it never ends.
Yep.
Yeah, that Xbox One version of Red Dead looks tasty.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good that game still looks.
We don't
Yeah.
even need a new one.
Yeah, I think we're just
Cancel.
Yeah, I'll pass on the
Let's
new one. I'll just
Also,
play
the new
old
one
again.
looks too Kansas.
no such thing. This is Gregory from Syracuse, New York. And he says, recently, I've been playing a lot of games. Whenever I have time to myself, I turn on my PlayStation 4 and I play whatever game is in my current catalog. This has led to spending
Yeah,
Way to go, Greg.
Yeah, that's how video games.
We're on board.
This has led to spending less time enjoying my other hobbies, such as reading, writing, and playing music. I then began to wonder, should I be doing these other hobbies instead? While I find enjoyment in video games, I sometimes feel it doesn't cause my creative juices to flow, and I'm simply passing the time. This, coupled with the fact that I'm simply experiencing something that someone else created, has caused me to feel that all the years I've spent gaming I've wasted while I could have been doing something else. Have any of you ever experienced a feeling such as this? If
There's only
so,
one solution to that.
What did you do about it?
One solution. Do it for work.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the only. Otherwise, you are just wasting your time.
You, Damon, I've always liked your attitude on this and how you sort of think about your time outside of work. I don't know if you want to get
That
into
I'm in charge of it?
Yeah, no, like your 10 p.m. rule.
Oh, that's how I...
Basic theory.
My
time.
Well, I was gonna say, you are in charge, Greg. You are in charge of your own time, and you can budget your time accordingly. And if you feel like you want to spend less time playing video games and more time doing creative endeavors, then you can do that. But what Justin is talking to is my personal schedule that I try to stick to is I get home from work and I try to be productive until 10 p.m. and then after 10 p.m. I can play video games.
You don't go to bed at 10?
No, I don't go to bed at 10.
Crazy.
not me.
10 is when video game
What?
time starts.
10 is when sleepy time starts for me.
Oh man,
yeah.
no. I can't go to sleep before midnight. That is
Still?
impossible. To
Really?
go to sleep before midnight. Yeah.
You could
You should
also
play some worse games.
you could do what I do and just not be creative at all.
Yeah.
And just don't have a creative outlet.
And just consume other people's content.
Yep. There's enough content already. We don't need more. Have you been on Spotify lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to make any more music. We're good.
Infinite content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinite content.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I in a former life, I was a musician, and I
Think
do.
you're still a musician?
I don't play music anymore, so no. I mean, I'll sit down and pick up my guitar and like play a riff or something that's like, oh, this is cool, but I don't put that riff anywhere. I don't, I don't practice with a band anymore. So no, I don't necessarily classify myself or define myself as a musician. And I do have this like sort of like gamer's guilt sometimes when I'm sitting there, like especially on a weekend and I've played 2 full days of Far Cry 5 and then I look outside and it's gorgeous and I'm like, why am I not doing anything else? Like, I creatively especially, but I have found myself like choosing like, I think partly because of work is like, I really need to get through this game like as fast as possible.
It's a legitimate
So,
solution. If you want to be creative and like maybe put your thoughts down about the game you're playing, more power to you. I mean, that's a really fun thing to do, and that's why we're all in this business.
Yeah.
You could also have kids, and then you'll be too tired to do anything.
Yeah.
Ever.
That too.
Creative.
Creating life is creative.
Yeah, I sometimes just sit in a dark room and stare blankly ahead just to have a
You think he's joking. He's seriously told me about how he does this sometimes.
every once in a while. Yeah.
Sometimes you just go into a room here in the office and you turn on the light, like,
Justin's here.
Just need a few minutes peace.
No, I think that you find the balance, and it's not a waste of time if you're doing it to really enjoy yourself and maybe find
That's true.
balance
I
in
think,
your
yeah.
life and relax.
I don't think any time spent truly enjoying yourself is wasted.
Yeah. But there's definitely been times where I've played games that I'm like, this is boring. Why am I doing this?
Well,
Yeah, that sucks too. It's nice that it rains here a lot and it's foggy, and so sometimes you're just like,
yep.
nah, just stay inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stick
Hell,
with the
I'll
game.
even take a windy day. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Oh, it's too
wind?
windy.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Windy.
going around that wind.
Better stay inside and play video games. all day.
Actively keeping me inside.
I just
that
I can't-
resistance is
if-
enough.
Oh, the wind's too
Yeah.
strong. I can't get the door open.
Sorry,
I
guys,
just play
can't make
video
it
games.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for a new game.
Oh, boy.
This idea was suggested by Kevin McCallow. Callow? Kevin.
It's Kevin Quello.
Kevin.
And he has gathered some strap lines from IGN reviews.
This is a very good game.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to read the strap lines, and you're going to try to guess the game just
Okay.
based on the strap line.
All right.
I write these a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you, listeners, if you don't know what the strap line is, it's the sentence underneath the headline. Our headlines are written in AP style, not complete sentences, and then underneath that is a complete sentence with grammar and punctuation.
You said this is all reviews, right?
from reviews.
Or
This is- can I
sometimes
give
it's
you-
just a quip and not a complete
Can I
sentence.
give
but
you
it
a
has a period on
favorite
the end.
recent example?
Of a strap line?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Dan Stapleton's review.
He's great at
Wait, don't tell us
for-
what the game is, and then he'll guess what it is.
Okay, so Dan Stapleton's recently did a review. This is going to totally give it away, but his strapline was "More than more Mordor."
Oh yeah, that was good.
More than more. Oh, what? What was that from Shadow of War?
Shadow of War,
I was trying
yeah.
to think of something
More-
recent.
More than more Mordor.
It's more
yeah.
than just more Mordor.
That's recent. That's October. Yeah.
Yeah. You would not believe how seriously Dan takes his review streak.
I was there for the spitballing of that one.
All right, the first one is the greatest. Hold on, the greatest 3D world ever created.
Super Mario 3D World.
No, it's got to be. It's a good guess. It's got to be Breath of the Wild.
Banjo-Kazooie.
It's not. It is
Something old.
It's gonna be something stupid as hell.
It's
Now that
Mario
I-
64.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The
That's
greatest
right on the
3D
money.
World
You know
ever
what's weird
created.
about that is that Pear wrote that recently because he just moved
Yeah,
our
he
old
did do that.
reviews that he was involved in into our new format, and they didn't have strap lines before.
That's what. Since
Oh.
IGN's been on the air 20 years, you can go back and read old articles. But because we've ported over, we've ported over our content management system, and like those old articles are usually like broken and busted, even though they're still technically online. And it bothered Pear so much that he went in and cleaned them all up. What are you chuckling?
Are we
about
not going to
today?
comment on that? Justin said that IGN has been on the air.
Okay, whatever.
Let us go
We're
home.
broadcasting. We've been broadcasting 24/7.
Hey, cut.
20 years.
All right.
All right, the next one is we walk until. Make sure I get this right. We walk until this path is done.
Journey?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Which I believe was a Ryan Clements joint
Yeah.
from back in the day.
Why so serious?
Is it a Journey lyric?
That'd be cool. Don't stop believing.
All right. The next one is survival of the fittest. This one's much more.
That's so generic. It's got to
Yeah.
be old.
Yeah, actually, it's. Oh, I can tell you, we have. I have scores too. This game got a perfect 10.
Ooh.
There's not that many of those.
Survival of the fittest.
Wouldn't be. It wouldn't be MGS 5.
Is it a Nintendo 64 game?
It's a Game Boy Color game.
You think this is a Craig Harris joint?
I thought so.
Is
Yeah.
it GTA 4?
No. Closer to the era though. This one is The Last of Us.
Okay.
Didn't you just say it was an old game?
So what you're
thought you
saying
said
is
it was
not
one.
all of our straps are clever puns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one? A Pound of Flesh.
It's Dante's Inferno.
No.
Sneak
Oh,
King.
that's a good.
That was our strapline for Bloodborne.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you didn't play Bloodborne.
Yeah. Would I get it if I played Bloodborne?
No, I didn't get it either. I've played that game 3 times.
All right. How about this one? Has the franchise racer advanced or is it spinning its wheels?
Mario Kart 64?
No.
Mario Kart Wii?
Forza.
Mario Kart 8?
Nope.
Mario Kart DS?
Nope.
Mario Kart. I'm
Dan,
out.
it can't be in the Dan Stapleton era because he wouldn't have allowed. He wouldn't have allowed.
Franchise.
Yeah, we'll end a pun that bad.
Yeah.
Ridge Racer.
No.
Double Dash.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Fran Mirabella.
I knew I was
That
missing
was
one. I knew I was missing one.
7.9.
That's the famous, yeah.
a-
Fran gave
yeah.
that a 7.9 and a long time ago that was a funny thing.
How about this one? Twisted Pixel is back to blow your mind.
Twisted Pixel.
They made what did they make? Explosion Man. Mm-hmm. Ms. Explosion
Some
Man.
Explosion Man.
Yeah, it was either that one or Explosion Man. And that was from me. How about this one? A fantastic miss for Fox.
Oh, that's Star Fox
heard that one.
0, right?
That's really good. That's really clever.
No, not 0. Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2. Okay.
And that
That was
was
Sam.
One of my proudest
Hey,
moments.
was
applicable
Sam.
to both games, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
One more.
Look at how pleased he is with himself.
A fantastic
funny one.
miss for Fox.
It's
That's
a
really good.
That's got to be an all-time great top 10 strapline.
Yeah.
From IGM.
We'll rank them.
Go ahead.
One more. Where no roguelike has gone before.
Spelunky.
No.
Rogue Legacy.
No.
Wow, there's more roguelikes than that?
FTL.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, a roguelike in
That's
space.
cute because
Yeah.
it's in space. Yeah.
I was trying to think of the Star Trek
In
Bridge Commander. Is that the
space.
name of the VR
Yeah.
game?
Not
yeah.
a roguelike though.
No, I don't know. I didn't play that game.
That was a fun game. What was it not?
I just yes, it was fun, but when you have to say that out loud,
I have
that
one
way-
for
Saying
you.
it to Kevin.
We're
I'm
having
I was
fun.
going to say, Kevin, thank you for that's a good game, Kevin.
Can you guess this one? More like fart cry.
Hey, I said that to you.
they have to make a bad one though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
We do spend
We'll
a lot
sit
of
on
time.
that one.
We'll wait for Far Cry 6.
My favorite one of all time, my favorite strapline that I've ever seen was a preview for Star Fox Adventure in EGM back in the GameCube era, and the headline was like, Star Fox Adventure, but the the strap was about his fur, and it was Rare adds hair, gives Fox flair, which I thought was really good.
It's cute.
Has anyone here played Star Fox Adventures?
Yeah.
Nah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not good.
Wow.
On Dinosaur Planet?
Yeah.
I'm the only
Kidding me?
one that didn't play that.
It's
one.
it's
Touchdown
fine.
on that
Yeah.
Dinosaur Planet.
It's not
was
bad.
okay.
It's like it's fine.
It's
It's
a
good.
big empty slog.
There's one character I forget his name that is so annoying. In
Slippy.
That game. It's a Slippy type, but yeah,
Oh, it's a Slippy like.
yeah.
We're no
His name is like
Slippy
Prince.
was
I
gone
don't know.
before.
I don't remember, but he's terrible.
I think the game's fine. I think the game's a easy 7 out of 10.
That's probably what.
You should play it now.
Is it in the rare collection? It's not. It couldn't
No.
be the rare
Nope.
collection. Anyway, all right, Zach, thank you for joining us. We're gonna,
Yeah, thanks for
We're going to
having me.
excuse Zach, take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll play Video Game 20 Questions with a special guest. And now it's time for Video Game 20 Questions. Please welcome our very special guest, Lily, who is joining us because this is actually her last week at IGN.
Yep.
And she mentioned recently that she wanted to play 20 questions, hadn't gotten a chance to yet, so we want to make sure we get her in here.
And nothing
Yeah.
to lose, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
My record could either be great or absolute garbage.
That's true. You could be the only person to ever have 100% record.
or zero.
Or
Yeah.
0%, yeah.
I'm ready.
But let's think positive. Let's,
I like
let's
those
make
odds.
it let's
Yeah.
make it 100%. Our suggestion this week comes from Scott Phillip. Let the questioning begin.
Where's he from?
He didn't say where he's from.
Oh boy.
We got to pick a different one.
No, we're not picking a different one.
Well, he has two first names.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
obviously he's a murderer.
Yeah.
If I've
Obviously.
learned anything from Forensic Files. Mm-hmm. It's got really dark. Really.
Is this game played from a 2-dimensional perspective?
From a two, can
Is
you?
it a 2D game?
Oh my gosh. You tripped him up in this one?
Can you be more specific?
No. I don't know what to,
Like, are you asking if
Are you asking? I don't want to help with
If
this. I want to.
objects are rendered in 3D in this game?
No, I'm asking if there's an X and Y axis that you move in, or an X and a Y and a Z axis that you move through.
Oh man, you stumped him. You stumped him. And it's only.
I think we won.
The only reason I was asking is because I thought there's a 50% chance Damon would pick Cuphead.
Cuphead, yeah.
How about you ask a different question?
Okay.
We'll just forget that one.
Does this game have cooperative play in it?
No.
Oh, it's not. It's not either of Lily's 2 favorite games.
Well, Lily, take it away.
Was this game developed before or after 2000?
Was it developed after 2000?
Or after, or like right
No,
on 2000?
after
Okay.
2000.
No.
Before 2000?
Yes.
So your research is going to come in handy.
Yeah, all the ones I did for the last 30 minutes. Just right.
Did it come out after January 1st, 1990?
Yes.
Okay, 90s game.
Okay, I was 5, so I'm definitely in this.
Was this game well received?
Yes.
So popular 90s game.
Okay. Was it my turn?
Sure.
Oh man, I didn't even think of one. Come back to me.
Uh,
I'm trying to think of like.
Was
what
it
games
a
I know.
was it a 16-bit game originally? Was it on the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo originally?
No. That's 5.
Was this a 64-bit game?
Well, that only leaves N64.
That doesn't PlayStation count as that?
PlayStation's 32-bit, I think. I don't know. Bits kind of. I don't know.
Is it a 32-bit or above game?
Yes.
That's so stupid. I love it.
So
So it's like a PlayStation or 64 or possibly Dreamcast game.
and it's not a co-op game.
And it's unclear whether it's a 2D or 3D game, although that did not cost us a
We could
question.
ask if it had 3D graphics or realistic graphics or something like that if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Does it have realistic graphics?
No.
Oh, cool. Was this game on the Nintendo 64?
No.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Was this game developed in Japan?
Yes.
So, Dreamcast, Saturn, PlayStation, one of those, or PC, which would be weird, or arcade.
Probably not PC in Japan.
Is it Crazy Taxi again? We get that game all the time. Yeah, that'd be weird. But arcade though, right?
Yeah. Probably not.
But well received. I think we need to know what system this is on.
I would guess PlayStation first.
All right, is this on PlayStation?
No.
Oh man.
That's 10.
Is it on Dreamcast?
No.
Stop.
I'm useless on this one because I like what's left.
Saturn.
If it's 32-bit and better, then it's Saturn.
We didn't eliminate N64.
It could be like, yeah, I did.
No, we did.
Did you do that just now?
It was a while ago. Yeah.
Couple questions.
Yeah.
Was this?
So it's like Knights or something like that.
Yeah, is this game developed by Sega?
No.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Why are you doing this?
I'm not doing anything. It's Scott Phillip.
I told you he's a murderer.
We gotta let.
Scott Phillip is a murderer.
Yeah,
I mean, could it be a PC game?
could be. We gotta let Lily get some questions in.
I never played the Saturn. That's the thing, because I was a babe.
Sega
Little
didn't make
baby.
Ask if it's on Saturn. Because
Is
it probably isn't.
it. Yeah.
Just as a general rule, though, know that I pick games that I think you guys
Yeah.
would actually know and could get to.
And then we let you down often.
Should we ask if it's
I'm
an
not like trying
Should we
to.
just ask if it's an
So
arcade
it's
game?
not like
It's not.
going to be something
could
like,
be like
totally bizarre that you
Time,
never heard.
like Time Crisis, or what is it called? Any of those late 90s shooters. DDR, it could be.
Yeah, maybe.
Is this an arcade game?
Yes.
Is this game played with? No, what's the way? I want to know if it's played with like a weird interface, like either
Yeah,
a
that's
gun or dancing or something that was less common to play games at home.
That's the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it about dancing?
Yes.
Huddle
It's
up,
15.
huddle up, huddle up.
Hold on. We've got 5 questions left.
Who made Dance Dance Revolution?
Konami.
Is that true? I thought they made the other
Am
one.
I wrong about that? I
I
don't
actually don't know. I thought they made the competitor. Maybe they did make DDR.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm delving deep and I can't answer that question, but I have a feeling it's Konami. I don't know why I have a feeling.
It's probably DDR. But so, Lily, one of the rules is if you actually guess the name of the game and you're wrong, then the game's over.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. We've had 5 questions. We should use them.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Smart.
How many pads does the DDR game have?
It changed over time, right?
Yeah. So the question is, are we doing like up, down, left, and right? Or are we doing up, down, left, right? Left, up, right, up.
Does this game have a track of directions to follow while you play it?
Yes.
Okay.
Would someone maybe describe it as some kind of dancing revolution?
I'm not going to answer that one.
How about this? Does it have sequels?
Yes.
Is it the first in its series?
Yes.
First of its name.
Wait,
so
it's Shirley. I think we should let Lily do the honors,
right,
but I think we're
let's do it.
pretty.
Wait, I
Let's
do
save
want to
a
ask,
question. All right, go ahead.
can you play this game against another person?
Yes.
Oh, then yeah, it's.
You gotta ask.
What is Dance Dance Revolution?
Yes, you don't.
Jeopardy rules.
Yeah, we don't play by Jeopardy rules. But yes,
So now we've lost
the original Dance Dance Revolution.
We
Good
did it.
job. 1999.
99.
And
just
what-
barely in the 90s.
Wow.
huh?
Barely in the 90s. And what I thought might trip you up is that the original one never came to home consoles. It was its sequels that
It
did.
never came.
Not the original Dance Dance
That's
Revolution.
crazy.
Is it
Okay.
Konami?
It is Konami.
Oh, so who made the other dancing game?
Which was the other dancing one?
Just
Dance.
Well, there was Just Dance later, and then
Remember
there was-
Mario Dance Revolution?
I remember
Oh,
Star Wars.
I do remember that
Star
one.
Wars.
Oh.
With
Well,
the
well,
with
that
the
one.
Han Solo
That was
song.
Stars Connect.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that Konami did a whole like a series of like arcade like peripheral like they did a what was their guitar?
Yeah.
They
Guitar
had a
Room?
guitar game before Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Bamani.
Did they do Taiko
Yeah.
Drum Master? Was that them?
That's
might have been
Namco, I
something.
think.
No.
And then there's gun games like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep
Well, Time
is it
Crisis
Time
is
Crisis?
Namco as well.
But what about Lethal Enforcers?
Yeah.
Is that Konami?
That was earlier,
Yeah.
and I don't even think that. I think that's Acclaim or Midway
Really?
or something weird like that.
Who
yeah.
knows?
Anyway. Well, I'm glad you guys got there.
Yay!
Well done. Dance Dance Revolution.
That was great.
Before we go, we have time for a scoop Jim from Kevin in Tennessee. And he says, on the show last week, you were recently perusing the April 1999 issue of EGM, and you mentioned a sticky note that said, email Red Octane. Before Netflix was even a thought, Red Octane started offering video game rentals by mail. It was a pretty big deal at the time, and I wanted to jump on board, but I couldn't afford it because I was in college. And yeah, it turns out that's true. Red Octane was the first online
remember
video
that.
game rental service. It was called Web Game Zone.
Why?
But there was another one for a while at the same time as Netflix too. That was a more popular one, right?
I subscribed to a service called Games and Flicks, and it did some sort of like the Flicks was an X or Games with a Z or something like that.
Oh, they want
And its
cool.
big thing was like, hey, are you a gamer and you like movies? Like, don't get Netflix and GameFly. We do both in one.
Oh wow.
wow.
GameFly was what I was thinking of.
GameFly, yeah. Which is GameFly people still use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Netflix try to spin up video game rentals at one point?
Yeah, they tried and then they failed.
Well, and they also tried to spin off the DVD rental business.
Yeah.
Like Flickster.
Is that what it was called?
It was gonna be, and then people lost their minds.
It was one of the greatest, like, weirdest marketing blunders of all time.
Yeah.
I really like
it
that.
was the most bizarre. So it's like Netflix is one of the most successful media internet companies of the last decade or whatever. But the way that they made this announcement was their CEO just like sitting around a patio table, and it looked like it was filmed on like an iPhone. It's like, good news, everybody. We're gonna spin out, our DVD business and our streaming business separately. Like, it's gonna be called Flickster. This guy's gonna be the CEO, and like everyone lost their minds, and the stock dropped like 1 million points, and then they canceled the news like a week later. Something that had surely been in the weeks.
It's just sad that Netflix wasn't able to bounce back for that.
There's also
just not around
there was also
anymore.
a company called Flickster, and then they closed, I think, about 2 years ago.
Just a separate thing entirely.
Yeah, they owned Rotten.
There's a lot of
Tomatoes.
stirs after Napster. Remember that?
Yeah.
Was that the first stir? Everybody
question.
did a stir.
I would love to know how many people are still getting like DVDs and Blu-rays in the mail
I
from
can't
Netflix.
even remember when I
No.
canceled mine.
Yeah, how many people have it, didn't cancel it, and just have that disc sitting in their
think-
house somewhere?
So
the-
that's the thing. Like, I think I haven't canceled mine because somewhere in the abyss, there's a DVD in there that I don't want them to be like, okay, so you're canceling your DVD service. By the way, return that lost DVD, and I'll have to go into the depths of like all these boxes and crates that I have no idea where it is.
But you're paying every month for the service, Lily.
Paid much more than whatever that movie
I
would
know.
cost.
Well, no. I'm gonna figure it out eventually. Don't worry, guys.
Figure it out.
when I go to my like my family's house, there's always like an old VHS collection that's now in boxes and stuff. But it's a VHS collection, right? All their movies that they bought, and half of them are Blockbuster boxes.
Yeah.
And that meant that they didn't return them. They paid the $20 fee and kept renting.
Well, or they just waited it out,
Maybe.
and then they just
No,
didn't
because
have
they
to pay
kept
the fee.
renting. They kept getting them, and it was because like, when you have like a little kid in the '90s, my sister would watch like tons of these or whatever, and then they're like, oh, it's better just to keep it. She doesn't care about the box art.
Yeah. It was, I
Rent to
guarantee
own.
you that, Netflix's accountant, like somewhere on their balance sheet, they're making $800 million a year from just people that forgot that they're paying for like the DVD plan and like just aren't using it. Like, it's like the dark secret of like any subscription business.
Yeah.
We should go to Alaska and rent some Blockbuster videos.
Yeah.
Why? Is that where
I
they're
have like
It's
still
under
got their
30, but
leftover.
they're still there. And one just closed.
That's interesting.
Well, there's only 29 left in the world.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fewer
like
than that,
internet's so bad there.
Wow,
Distance
yeah.
is so long that like renting is like totally viable.
Interesting.
And there's still box rental stores in San Francisco, so I don't.
So I
know.
wonder-
It is that these are Blockbusters.
They must still be renting games too.
Maybe.
If we have any listeners in Alaska that can verify this,
I'm super into it. Take a picture of Blockbuster and send it to us.
yes. And finally, before we go, let's share what we've been playing or what we're going to be playing this weekend. Lily?
I'm going to be playing again Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS.
There you go.
I really want to. I didn't finish it last time. And then
I didn't either.
I'm also going to play some Splatoon because I'm training for the Splatoon 2 Open Invitational.
Oh, very cool. When is the invitational?
April 21st.
What about the tourney at E3?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get to.
Very cool.
Me and a couple MVCP fans.
Nice.
Sam?
Think I still can't talk about the game I'm playing, so whatever.
Well,
Enjoy.
I think you can talk about it. Well, maybe not right. Yeah, I think you can.
After midnight tonight.
Embargoed
Yeah.
at April
Well, okay. Anyway,
midnight.
I want
Save
to
that for
I just
later.
want to be careful.
I hope to be playing that too this weekend.
For sure.
So mysterious.
Yeah.
Justin, what outdated TV show are you watching?
I am watching an outdated TV show.
Oh,
been watching,
no.
been watching Gravity Falls. No, I fell off of Far Cry, and it's not because I just had my fill.
Yeah.
It was totally fun, but it was too big for me to finish. And now I'm going to be starting God of War, so I'm between games.
See, why can you talk about it?
Well, you don't know that that's what Sam was playing. Like by the time
Great.
it's theirs.
Great.
In the future,
Well done,
Embargoed.
everybody.
I'm.
Well, he said it. Like,
But then
that
you
didn't,
said
that didn't give away that that's what he was talking about.
well, that doesn't make any sense. I wanted to say that I was going to play God of War, but I couldn't because of Sam. That's what we're going to play.
no comment.
I'll
That's
play
the
it
next
too.
game I'm going to be playing at some point.
I don't care. I'm going to play God of War this weekend, and I don't care who knows it.
We can talk
will
about
be
it next
playing
week.
God of War. Why not?
Whoa. All right, settle
I'll
down.
join
everybody.
in on the fun.
All right, that is all the scoops that we have for you this week. Lily,
Too many, some would say.
Yeah, Lily. Thank you for joining us for 20 questions.
thank you for having me.
If you have your own suggestions for 20 questions, email them to me at gamescoop@ign.com or omegacops@ign.com or goosecamp@ign.com.
My record is 100%, by the way. I retire
100%.
with this.
Yeah.
Win-loss ratio.
There we go.
Crazy.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Lily. My name is Damon. This is IGN Game Scoop, and we're out.
Good to be with you.
Scoop.